Hello students and viewers, welcome back again to Science Capsule, a perfect self-learning tool for school children. In today's session, we will be looking into a new chapter of class 10 science called electricity. We are much familiar with electricity, right? Right from the morning to evening, we use this electrical energy to carry out various our day-to-day activities, not only at home level. If you see on a large scale, hospitals, industries, shops, everywhere, electricity plays a significant role. So knowing about electricity is very important. We are much familiar with electrical switches and all, right, which you may be using in your home or in your school. As soon as you put on the switch, the bulb gets lighted up or the fan starts working. Here, what makes the bulb or the fan work? We know that the fan or the bulb are connected through a wire and the wire reaches up to the switch. So when we put on the switch, something is flowing in the wire and reaches up to the bulb or the fan, and immediately it starts working. Dear students, it is electric current which is flowing through the wire, reaches up to the bulb or the fan and makes them work. So in this video we will be learning in detail about what is electric current, electric potential, electric circuit, potential difference. All are supported by some important activities so that you will understand the concepts very clearly. So this video is going to be very interesting and informative. So watch till the end of this video. If you have not subscribed this channel, subscribe this channel and press bell icon so that you won't miss any of my future uploads. So let us start today's session. Students, you are much familiar with the heat, which is a form of energy. Likewise, electricity is also a form of energy. By using this electrical energy, we used to carry out various our day-to-day activities. Let us understand what is this electricity. To understand this, let us have a familiar example. You must have heard about air current. Air moves from high pressure region to low pressure region, right? Here, movement of air we could see. This movement of air is called air current. Likewise, you are much familiar with water in river. Water flows from high altitude to low altitude, right? Here, flow of water is called water current. Now, you have the idea about what is current. Current means flowing. If air flows, it is called air current. If water flows, it is called water current, right? Now let us have another example. In the lower classes, you must have studied about the atoms and molecules. When we talk about atoms, inside the atoms charges are there, right? When we talk about matter, we know that matter is made up of atoms. Inside the atom, charges are there, right? The positively charged particles are called protons, the negatively charged particles are called electrons. So now you have the idea about what is current and what is charges, right? When the charges move from one point of the matter to another point, we call it as flow of charge. This flow of charge is what we call electric current. Students, now what you are seeing here, it is a simple electric circuit. You should know what is electric circuit. Electric circuit is a continuous and closed path in which the electric current flows. Here you see the electric current starts flowing from this direction and reaches here. Once the electric current reaches here, the gap is maintained, right? At this moment, our electric circuit is not complete. In order to make the electric current flow in a complete circuit, we have to close the circuit. You see here a gate like structure, right? Once the gate is closed, then our circuit is complete. At that time, the bulb glows. So this is how the electric circuit works. Here the gate like structure what you are seeing, in a real circuit it is the switch. So in the electric circuit, switch controls the flow of electric current in the circuit. So we can say that the switch in the circuit acts as a link or the bridge between the cell or the battery and other components that are attached in the circuit. So electric current can be defined as the amount of charge flowing through a particular area in a unit time. Here time is there, so it can also be defined in terms of time, that is the rate of flow of charge in a conductor is known as electric current. Here we are talking about electric charge, right? So we know that electric charge is of two types. One is positive and negative. Which charge moves in a conductor? Due to the movement of which charge causes electricity, whether it is a positive charge or a negative charge. Dear students, the flow of electrons in a conductor constitute electric current. But at the time of the discovery of phenomena of electric current, the negative charge, so called electrons, were not discovered. So it was assumed that the flow of positive charges in a circuit produces electric current, but later on it was found that it's not flow of positive charge, it is actually the flow of electrons in a circuit produces electric current. But conventionally, the direction of flow of electric current has taken from the positive terminal to negative terminal, which is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Students, you may be wondering, why only metals conduct electricity? They allow the electricity to pass through, whereas plastics, paper, wood are all considered to be an insulator. They do not conduct electricity. Do you know why? Because metals are having lot of free electrons. Free electron means if you see the electronic configuration of metals, then you will find in the outermost shell there are some free electrons. These electrons are responsible for moving in a conductor, whereas if you see the non-metals, plastics, woods, paper and all, they do not have free electrons. However, they also produce electricity. That electricity is called static electricity. Now let us take an example. If you rub a comb on your dry hair or woolen cloth, this you might have done in the lower classes, right? When you rub the comb on your dry hair and if you keep near the bits of paper, then the bits of paper gets attracted towards the comb, right? Here what happens on rubbing the plastic or the insulators, then while rubbing the electrons are protruding outwards, thereby making one of the material positively charged and another one is negatively charged, as you can see on the screen. Likewise, when you rub it, the electrons which are there in the atoms just come out of the atoms. They do not move from one place to another since they do not have free electrons. The electrons are coming out just because of rubbing it. By friction, the electrons coming out. This type of electricity, what we call static electricity. Static means they do not move. In the static position, it will be remaining. So it is called static electricity. Whereas when we talk about electricity, it is current electricity. Current electricity means we know that current is movement of something, right? Here charge is moving from one place to another, one point of the conductor to another point. So only we call it as current electricity. So in this class we will be studying only about the current electricity. So according to our definition, mathematically it can be represented as I is equal to Q by T. Here I is the symbol of electric current, Q is the symbol of electric charge and T is the symbol of time. On substituting the SI unit of these quantities, we will get I is equal to Coulomb divided by second. We know that Coulomb is the SI unit of charge and second is the SI unit of time. Here 1 coulomb of charge is equivalent to the charges contained nearly in 6 into 10 to the power 18 number of electrons, that is negative charge. Now we know that 1 electron will have the charge of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb of charge. By knowing the charges of individual electron, we can easily find the total charges present in 1 coulomb. So here the SI unit of current is ampere. For larger current we use ampere, for smaller currents we use smaller units, milliampere, microampere, like that. The unit conversion you should know. 1 ampere is equal to 10 to the power 3 milliampere, or 1 ampere is equal to 10 to the power 6 microampere. In the reverse order also we can understand it. So here 1 milliampere is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 ampere, or 1 microampere is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. So this you need to remember, because while doing numerical problems this will help. Now the amount of current flowing in a circuit could be found out by using a device called ammeter. Let me show you the ammeter. See here, this is the ammeter. This is the device which is used to find the current flowing in a circuit, right? Let us now understand what is electric potential and potential difference. To understand about electric potential, we will take an example. See here a water tank in which water is kept, right? Here the water exerts some sort of pressure on the walls. This pressure we call it as water potential, with which the water moves out if pipe is connected. Likewise, if you take an example of a conductor, here the charges are there. These charges exert pressure on the conductor, with which the electrons can move, right? This pressure is known as the electric potential. Here we can relate the electric potential with some pressure. So, with that pressure the electrons can move from one point to another, right? This is what we call it as electric potential. Now, let us understand what is potential difference. About potential difference, I have already uploaded a video in which an activity was performed to understand about potential difference. In that activity, it was clear that to move charges from one point to another, there must have potential difference. Let us take an example. Below the screen, you can see a metallic wire. Can we see flow of charge in this metallic wire? Absolutely not. Why? Because here the electric potential is same throughout the wire. In order to make the charge flow from one point of the conductor to another point, then there must have some potential difference. This potential difference may be provided by a cell, battery, generator, etc. So, it is potential difference which makes the electric charge flow from one point to another. So, potential difference across the 2 points of a current carrying conductor may be defined as the amount of work done to carry a unit charge from one point to another point. So, mathematically it can be expressed as potential difference is equal to work done divided by charge. Here the symbol of work done is W and symbol of charge we know already Q. On substituting the SI units, we will get the unit of work done is joule, right, and unit of charge is coulomb. So, the SI unit here, the SI unit of potential difference is volt, also known as voltage. Suppose if 1 joule of work is done to carry 1 coulomb of charge, then we say 1 volt of potential difference. Suppose if 2 joules of work is done to carry 1 coulomb of charge, then we call it as 2 volt or 2 voltage. To measure the potential difference across the 2 points of a current carrying conductor, a device is used. It is called voltmeter. I have voltmeter. I will show you the voltmeter. See here, this is the voltmeter which are connected across the 2 points of a current carrying conductor to know the potential difference, right. If you connect this with a cell or a battery, you will come to know the potential difference across the 2 points. And you always remember that this potential difference, the voltmeter is always connected in parallel, whereas we have seen about ammeter, right, to know the amount of current flowing in a circuit. Ammeter is always connected in series. What is this series and what is this parallel connection, which we will see in the later videos. We are much familiar with electric circuit, right. In our electric circuit, we may have wires, switches, battery, ammeter, voltmeter, all these components we may have. It is quite difficult to draw the structure of all these components in our circuit. In order to solve this problem, what we do, the symbols of these components which are being used in the electric circuit are represented in a pictorial form. This pictorial form of the electric circuit, which contains the symbols of the component, is known as circuit diagram. Now, let us take an example. This is an simple electric circuit which contains a bulb, wire, switch, battery, ammeter, voltmeter, all these are connected. To understand the electric circuit diagram, you should know the symbols of the components that are being used in the electric circuit. So, these are the components which are also given in your textbook. You just memorize these symbols which will help you to understand the electric circuit diagram, and you will find it very easy to construct circuit diagram. So, dear students, do remember all these symbols, keep ready these symbols. We will learn in the next video how these symbols are put together to form circuit diagram. Hope you found this video useful. If so, hit the like button. If not, subscribe the channel and press bell icon so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. So, see you all on another day. Till then, take good care of yourself. Bye.